Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and it's good to have you with us on this Wednesday, middle of the week. That's right. We're halfway through this week. I can see the weekend in the distance. Bit of a dreary day outside. I don't know if you've been out yet. A little warm, but they say tonight we're going to get another cold front, so it'll be cool tomorrow, much nicer. So we'll have to see what that brings us. Thanks to those of you watching us on Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate you joining us. We're here every weekday morning when HCC is in session. You can join us live at 10 a.m. You can also find us on HCCTV. Catch the rebroadcast of our show at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. And as always, you can find us in social media. Sade Campbell's joining me this morning. She is our co-host this morning. Sade, good to see you.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. You know, you and I, we haven't had a chance to visit. We see each other on the show once a week, but I never get to ask you questions. I've been meaning to ask, how is your mom doing?
Oh, man. Someone asked about her the other day. She is lovely and spirited, as she always is.
Does she watch your show?
Absolutely. And gives me critiques at that.
I was going to say, does she give you some critiques like do this, do that, don't wear this, wear that?
Absolutely. All of it. All of it.
It's always great to have a mentor. All right, Sade, we mentioned that you can watch us live and on HCC TV, but they can also find us anytime in social media.
Yes, yes, yes. That's the beauty of the internet and the beast of it, and nothing ever goes away. So you can always catch a playback on our HCC District Facebook and YouTube channels. And you can also follow us for the latest updates on the institution and what we're doing on the community on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube.
That's right. Okay, Sade, stick around because you'll be talking with this next guest. Igor Lucic joins us. He is an HCC Computer Science student. He's also the Chief Information Officer and of the Computer Science Association. You guys have a big event coming up soon, right?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hearing about it. Sade is going to get all the details in a little while, and we'll tell all of our audience how they can participate as well. Stand by, Igor. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes. All right, we're going to kick things off. It is Small Business Wednesday, and we have a person who's literally rolling in the dough or maybe pancake batter. We'll explain in a second. Her name is Brandi Allen. She's the owner of Daisies Pancakes. What's that all about? She's going to tell us. She's also an HCC Business Plan Competition graduate. Good morning, Brandi. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning, Ty. Good morning, everyone. I'm doing great today. The sun's starting to peek out a little bit over here.
What's that?
I said the sun is starting to peek out a little bit on my side of town.
I'm noticing that. Yeah, it's supposed to get a little warm today. I mean, it was crazy. Yesterday it was 90 degrees. Today it's for you. Like in the 80s, and tomorrow they say it's going to drop in the 50s. So here we are. It's springish in the Houston area.
Right.
Hey, I want to ask you. You're a 2021 HCC Business Plan Competition graduate, and you're now in the 2022 Small Business Success Series. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I had a business before selling vintage clothing. And when the pandemic hit, it caused us to pivot into this whole roller skating phenomenon that's going on now. So I saw the HCC Business Plan Competition, decided, hey, what a better way to really get a good boot camp in and tighten up the business plan. Because, it's like a living document. It kind of breathes. And as your business grows, you add to it. So I wanted to really go through a program and learn all of the aspects of becoming an entrepreneur and how to set up my business for success. And same thing, as this business continues to grow and more opportunities become available, I thought it'd be cool to go ahead and take another course. And it's a 5-week course, the Open for Success, and it hits all of the aspects that I kind of need refreshers on.
Well, yesterday we were talking about this on the show, and you're probably not old enough to remember, but I
you'd be surprised.
I remember back in the, I want to say 70s, early 80s, roller skating was the craze, in high school and in junior high, we all went roller skating, but they sold roller skates, particularly, I think they were marketed more towards women that were tennis shoe looking. They looked like tennis shoes, but they were roller skates. Right. Now everything old is new again because your company takes that to another level.
We do. And I have a fun fact. Actually, the tennis shoe roller skate is not brand new. It's not a brand new idea. Nike released one back in the 70s, and there's a tennis shoe called the Blazer. And that is the actual shoe that they made the roller skate out of, which is a popular shoe today. And I actually made one myself just kind of as a throwback to it.
There you go.
The Blazer Nike shoe, add all the parts on the bottom, roller skates, and then bam, you're down for hours and days and years of fun for it. And so, it's not a new concept, but it's definitely been revived with the revival of roller skating, which I really don't call a comeback, to be honest. It was always kind of here.
Yeah, it was always here, and it seems like popularity wanes and comes and backs. But, I remember back in the 90s, you'd be at Target or Walmart, and these kids would walk by you, and then they had these pop-out wheels that would pop out of their tennis shoes. Yeah. And then they'd just be skating a bit. And I'm going, what the heck is going on there? Just stop it. But you actually... Your company's Daisies and Pancakes. Tell us a little bit about that and how that came about, because it sounds like from reading that this was born during the pandemic.
Yes. So the roller skating part of it was born during the pandemic. We sold vintage clothing before. I started selling vintage clothing, started a business, Daisies and Pancakes, in 2019. And we did pop-ups all over in Atlanta, Austin, Dallas. We were about to go to LA and Chicago, and the pandemic hit. And we're sitting around. We can't do these person-to-person, face-to-face pop-ups. And like everybody else, we started exercising outside, the family. And I pulled out an old pair of roller skates. But I was falling everywhere here in my neighborhood on the street. And my friend said, you have the wrong wheels. You need to change your wheels. So when she taught me how to change my wheels, my mind is blown. I started school in architecture. So I have an engineering mindset. And I just thought, wow, you can take all of this apart. And she said, yeah, you can take it all apart. So the research began, YouTube University started, and next thing you know, I'm walking, my husband's walking in the house, and I'm drilling into a pair of shoes, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I did this. And it just took off from there. So we already had kind of a following base based on the vintage. So it just, when people saw me post that, it just was like, oh my God, I want a pair.
So if someone has a pair of tennis shoes they kind of like, and they think, oh yeah, I want to turn these into roller skates, can they come to you and try to do that? Or how does that work?
Absolutely. I like to help the client pick out the pair of shoe to make sure it's a really good sturdy pair of shoe that can hold all the parts and that'll be comfortable for them and give them the support that they need while roller skating. But right now it's highly customized where the client picks the shoe. I add all the coloring and the cool wheels and ask them a few questions about their roller skating style. And I put it all together, do my magic, and send it back to them. But one of the reasons why I joined the Open for Business competition is that it's time to scale. It's time to get to a point where I have a stock of shoes where you can just come point and buy one,
Right. And you also have, you work with people for gathering events and let them know, back, here I am dating myself again.
Oh, it's okay.
Back in the 80s, some of the cool kids here in the Houston area were called the Urban Animals. And they used to skate, and during the festival, they do jousting on skates. They'd skate everywhere. You'd see them always downtown at like bars and stuff. But then they grew up, and I think they started the art car parades. Maybe that's what they're doing now. Yeah. But there's still a group that does this around the Houston area, very popular.
There's still lots of groups that do this around the area. As a matter of fact, we're skating in the art car parade, which is going to be fun. Those Urban Animals, I've heard stories about them. But when the pandemic happened, the roller rinks closed. And it's like, if you're never in the forest, you don't know that the tree fell, whatever the saying is. In the roller rink, you'd have 200 or 300 people in the roller rink on a really good night. So when the rinks closed, you have all these people looking for outdoor places to skate. And they started skating. There's a group called Luminous Night Crawlers. They skate every Wednesday night from Allen Parkway to Discovery Green and back. And it's about 50 of them. And they have these light up wheels, and you'll just be like, when you see critical mass with all of the bikes,
Yeah.
they're like critical mass on skates, where it's just a bunch of them roller skating through the city. And there are lots of other park skaters, roller derby people who, skaters who, they couldn't do roller derby games anymore. So they started gathering and skating outside. So it's lots of different groups of roller skating that builds the whole Houston skate community.
What's next for your company, Daisies and Pancakes? I mean, you've got some unique ideas. What's next for you guys?
Well, we do events. So I came up with a really cool event because when we were selling vintage clothing, we sold to a lot of break dancers, which is another thing where it's like,
wow, didn't know that was still around either.
It's absolutely still around. And so I came up with an idea because when I got involved in the skate community, I was like, oh my God, here are two beautiful communities with a lot of the same values and personalities. They need to meet each other. So I came up with an event. We call it Saturdays, and it's roller skaters battling break dancers. And it's a phenomenal event. And so that happens in July. But I also created another space called The Lab, because I like to develop talent. In another life, in another career, I was a talent manager and developer in HR. So I still transfer those skills to all this talent that I see on skates. And so The Lab is a place where we have lessons, we have workshops, and we also just have open sessions where you can come in and work on some skills, kind of just enjoy the vibe and just have a nice, cool place to hang out outside of learning some lessons and whatnot. So we're building The Lab as we speak. We've had about 4 sessions so far.
Right.
And so we have lessons on every Tuesday. And this helps to build a community. Because there's a lot of people who want to skate, but it's a little nerve-wracking. It's like, I'm nervous, but this is a safe place to learn.
Well, you got some phenomenal ideas. In fact, when you have your event in July, I want to send somebody out to cover it and do a story on it. Okay.
Absolutely.
And get you back on the show and you can talk about it before and all that. So we want to keep that in mind. So reach out to us when you got your event coming up. Folks, if you want to know more about Daisies and Pancakes, it's real easy. Go to daisiesandpancakes.com. In fact, we'll have social media information and their website link in our social media post. Brandi, thanks for being here. Great
Thank
idea.
you so much, Todd.
You know, best of luck to you and continued success.
You. Have a great day.
You too. All right. That's exciting. Sade, we're going to get you skating maybe?
You know, as long as somebody's there to help my knees recover, I don't know.
Well, if you wrap yourself in bubble wrap, that would probably work too. It may be a bit constricted, but we can get you some bubble wrap.
The fall hits different after 30. My.
I know, trust me. I know that all too well, Bill. Let me tell you. Wait till you get about 20 years after that and the falls really hurt. But anyway, we've got an incredible event coming up this weekend, and you've got one of our students to talk to. So I'm going to turn things over to you and Igor.
Yes, well, pun intended. We're rolling right over into our next guest, Igor, who is a part of our HCC Computer Science Association, and he serves as the Chief Information Officer of that group. The Computer Science Association is one of our more active groups. We have over 80 student clubs here at HCC. So welcome, Igor.
Thank you so much for having me, Ms. Campbell.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about Igor. Oh my goodness, tell me a little bit about the Computer Science Association, Igor.
So the Computer Science Association is a fast-growing group of a lot of like-minded technology students. What we do is basically organize a lot of typing competitions, like hackathons, appathons, where we have to design an app in a short amount of time. It's just a good way to essentially push on each other to compete and challenge and grow as a group. And it's just a wonderful, like-minded organization. So we can really just bounce off ideas off of each other. And we do a lot of work for the community as well. Well, we're all just trying to grow here at HCC. And I think the CSA is a great place to do it.
And you all have you all really focus on professional development opportunities for students in the who desire to go into the computer science field. And you have an event coming up that does just that. Tell us a little bit about the event.
Oh, yes. So the AI conference is this huge 2-day event. It is happening on April 29th and April 30th. So the last Friday and Saturday of April. And it's going to be held at the West Houston Institute. So this 2-day AI conference is basically going to be about education, healthcare, as well as energy and other business sectors and their relationship to AI. And we just think this is a very important conference to be held because I know all of us here know a bit about AI. And we hear all the time on the news and stuff like that. We know it's going to be the future. We know we're going that direction. But a lot of students and just a lot of professionals don't really see the actual practice of AI, how it actually works, what kind of projects can and can't be done with AI. We just think this is a great place for anybody. You don't have to be a computer science focused person. You can just be a healthcare professional or whatever, and you can just go and see and how it works. And for the students, it's a wonderful opportunity because you will know the companies that are investing into the future, and you can talk to them and they'll be there. And of course, there's going to be presentations and expeditions, but we're also having booths. So it's just going to be a great place to network and platform from there.
Yeah, and y'all have created such an amazing space for students to get exposed to AI. And HCC has made the investment. It's one of the first community colleges in Texas to offer the AI degree program like the Associates of Applied Science in the practice. Is that something that attracted you to HCC?
Yes, actually, I did not know, to be honest, that we did have an AI degree. But it is the last couple of months that I've been talking to the leaders of the CSA, as well as now I'm getting farther in my courses, my professors. And yeah, I was very stunned to hear that HCC does offer not only the first in Texas, but one of the first in the nation. We're so new that we're partnering up with like Intel, other companies like NVIDIA, Amazon, and IBM. They're really helping flourish HCC, the AI program here. And I mean, it's I can really solely believe that there's no other school that you should really be into if you're focused on the tomorrow, technology, and further development. I mean, I really think that HCC has a lot to be proud of already. But on top of that, to hold one of the first and only AI programs in the nation, I don't know, it really shines above.
I love to hear it. Although it didn't get you here, it's keeping you here. So we love to hear. Yes. So I know that you talked about students being able to attend the event, and you have companies that are coming. Is there anybody else that should consider coming to the event? Who's your audience?
So our audience is mainly HCC students. And again, it doesn't really matter what their major is, what they're really studying, because AI is really going to be involved with everything. But basically any students that are focused, that want to invest on their future. So they're just really interested. Hey, I just hear about AI all the time. Everyone's talking about it. Elon Musk or whoever, they're always talking about AI, but I don't really actually know that much when it comes to it. And this is just a great place to go and visit. So mainly HCC students. And of course, the event is free. I'm sure if you just scan on the flyer, you can just sign in immediately. We are having a total of 500 people, so 250 people each day. But we are actually filling up quite fast. So if you are watching this right now and you are just a little bit interested in, I would just go ahead and pull the trigger on that and just sign in, because you'll most likely regret it if you don't come.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like even in marketing, Facebook has moved to Meta, artificial intelligence in general. I think we think it's so far in the future, but it's really happening to us right now. And so to your point, students in all majors and even staff who want to stay ahead of the game and faculty could benefit from this event. So we stand to learn a lot from the event, but tell us a little bit as a student leader what you've learned from having to plan this event.
Oh, I have learned a lot. I severely underestimated what it really takes in to plan an event. Yeah, it's just constant meetings, constant checking in, constant this. Everybody has their own little job to do. And there's a million little parts that just really go unnoticed when you plan an event. For example, we went to the West Houston Institute where the venue is going to be at. And obviously, we kind of blocked it in. We were planning it out. And he's like, oh, well, you're going to have security. You're going to have to hire a cleaning crew. You're going to have to hire this. There's all these million steps. You have to get a lot of approval from a lot of different sections in, local government as well as school government. So yes, from this point on in my life, I'll never be able to go to another event, HCC or not, without just keeping note of everything and, giving my thanks to whoever helped organize it. Because, whatever size the event is, I remember 2 weeks ago, we had an event called the Kickoff, and it really only lasted about 40 minutes to an hour. It was just like a brief presentation of what CSA does and why I should join CSA. And I did the math that for every 1 minute we're on stage talking about the CSA, we spent about 3 hours planning and, in meetings and conferences and all this kind of stuff to make that a reality. So it goes to show that there is a lot of work involved. So I did learn. But the most important thing is teamwork and communication above all else.
Well, I learned something from you today. I'm going to calculate all the hours I put into what may take 30 minutes to present it. I'm sure HCCTV has some numbers for, how many hours they put into producing this show every day. So you gave us that tidbit to walk away, and you are a walking billboard of the power of taking advantage of the full scope of opportunities that are available at the institution, inside and outside of the class. So we thank you so much for coming on today, Igor, and best of luck for your event.
Thank you so much. Hopefully I'll be seeing there.
Hey, look, like you said, pull the trigger. I'm going to pull the trigger and take a look at my schedule and see if I can make it.
That's what I want to hear. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, Igor. All right, Sade, we got a few announcements for this morning. Number one, life hacks. You know them, you love them. This one, very important. How do you avoid plagiarism? Now, in the world we live in, Sade, it's so easy when you're writing a document to just cut and paste. But guess what? If you're cutting and pasting and posting it as your own work, you're plagiarizing someone. And that can be a bad thing. Balancing adulting and school is an ultimate juggling act. Your success will be rooted in your routine, and small recipes for success workshops and resources are here to help you manage it all. 11 a.m. today, after this show, April the 6th, you can check out how to avoid plagiarism. That's happening today. Also, Money Sense, Financial Literacy Month. April is Financial Literacy Month, but learning how to manage your money is really a year-round priority. So the Office of Student Life invites students to participate in a free Money Sense events. That's happening also today. Busy day for you guys, Sade. Budgeting Like a Boss. Did you come up with that name?
No, I did not. I think that was name. Dominic Brown.
Yeah, Budgeting Like a Boss is the name of the event, and it's happening today at 12:30. And also Home Buying 101, 12:30 p.m., Thursday, April the 7th. That's tomorrow. We'll have some links to register for all of these events in our social media post after the show. One thing I know you know all about, the spring transfer fairs. Those are returning to campuses.
They're returning to campuses, and all current students who have the desire or are thinking about transferring to a four-year institution and wondering, do my credits transfer? When do I actually start the process of transfer? This event is for you. So we have them scheduled this week. They started this week. They go through next week. This week we have one today from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it's happening now at our HCC Southwest campus, the Stafford campus, in addition to our A-Leaf Hayes campuses. So check out the link. Registration isn't necessarily available. So if you're already on campus and you're seeing this, pull up, as they say.
All right. Student Success Summit is happening. Achieving the Dream. Site visit. Join HCC in the West Houston Institute for a Student Success Summit called Personalized Learning Pathways. That is next Wednesday, April the 13th. It happens from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. It's at the West Houston Institute. You can register in a link we'll have for you after the show in our social media post. And we've got a reading culture club happening as well right now, Sade.
Yes, so it's the intersection of a club and a scholarship opportunity. So each Every spring, they read a book that is focused on a particular culture, and they are focused on Pakistani culture in reading I Am Malala. So after students read this book, they create an essay or produce a creative project to compete for the chance to win a $500 and $1,000 scholarship. That is the essay is due on April 25th. So.
All right. If you'd like to register, we'll have an email in our social media post. Okay, summer registration is underway right now, Sharday, but fall 2022, it's hard to believe we're already talking about the fall. You can soon register for the fall, but I know there's 3 important dates that our students need to remember.
Absolutely. Starting next week, you can preview the fall schedule. So get a peek at what you need to finish your degree on April 11th. Starting then, our priority registration for veterans and our Eagle Promise students and those close to graduation begins on April 18th. And everyone can begin registering on April 25th to get the classes that fit their schedule and their life responsibilities.
And most importantly, I know you're always a proponent of filling out that FAFSA if you haven't done that, because did you mention last week you can fill out a FAFSA for 2022 and 2023 to get you through next year?
Yes, so the FAFSA that covers next fall is already open. You can submit that using your 2020 tax information. And if you are interested in attending this summer, you will need to fill out the 2021-2022 FAFSA using your 2019 information. And you can go to any financial aid campus and they will help you, sit with you, finish that FAFSA application if you're having trouble.
And we still have 5 ways to learn. 2 of them are online, 2 of them are hybrid, and then in-person classes. You can go to class on a campus. Once again, and the classes are very small. So if you want to get the class you want, the professor you want, the time you want, the campus you want, all those factors, make sure you register early. Go to hccs.edu/apply to register today. Tomorrow, we've got a very special friend from HCC Southwest College joining us.
Yes, we have Dean Afra Hassan, who will be here to talk about Missouri City's growth and their growing educational opportunities out at the Missouri City campus. So you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, and we've also got a special guest talking about, get this, Bar Mitzvah. You want to know more about Bar Mitzvah? I'm thinking it has to do with dogs. That's just a wild guess. I'm thinking it's going to be pups that we'll be talking about tomorrow. So that should be cool. Virtual Family Fun Day is every Thursday. So we'll be doing that as well. Sharday, have a great day. Have a great week. Thank you for joining us this morning and keeping us up to date.
Yes, thanks for having me. See you next week.
All right. We'll see all of you tomorrow morning live, 10 a.m. right here for Up to the Minute.